Hello and welcome. I'm Umbra, and this is Slay the Spire. So we're jumping right into the next one. I really didn't want to stop because this has got its hooks in me. So we're just going to jump in, play another. Hopefully we can make it to the boss in this one, and we'll go from there. So if you remember, we spent time to upgrade. We got almost no gold, so I'm not really wanting to go to the shop. But maybe hit this campfire so I can upgrade more. But I have to deal with an elite enemy. But you know what? Let's go for it. Let's see if we can make it through. This enemy. So as you can see, when it's less than 50% hit HP, it will split into two smaller slimes with the current slime's health. So if I in one turn manage to get it down to, let's see, it has 68 HP, so 34 HP, or even multiple turns, it will split into two. But if I can get it down to 2 HP or 1 HP in one turn, or if it's at 35 HP and I manage to get it down to 1 HP in that same turn, the two smaller ones will only have 1 HP. So I've kind of learned to exploit that with these enemies. Let's see. Since he's not attacking us, we're going to go ahead and hit him for 11 and gain 2 vulnerable on him. And then hit him for another 13. So as you can see, we might be able to, in a single turn, bring him all the way down. And another good thing about this is when he does the split, whatever he's about to do gets interrupted. So yeah, we're going to just go as hard as we can on this. In fact, I can just straight up kill him. But, and we gain some of our health back. We want, like I said, we want to balance it around 30 or 44, which is half our HP. We've got another potion for dexterity. Dexterity is so like strength increases damage done, dexterity actually increases the amount of block you gain for your block cards. Battle Trance is not a bad card. Brutality. Start your turn, lose 1 HP, and draw 1 card. This is a power. Infernal Blade. Add a random attack to your hand. It costs 0 to this turn. I'm going to take that because some of the random attacks you can get cost a considerable amount. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to continue Smith. I'm not very good about that route. Let's upgrade Rampage. But I very rarely, at least in the, I don't know, about 8 hours I've played of this game so far, very rarely do I ever choose the option to rest at a campfire. The only exception is sometimes if I'm feeling really weak right before a boss and don't think that I can tank it out, I will use it there. Let's go into this elite fight. Oh, yes. These guys are really annoying because, well, we'll get to see, he's already using the debuff, one of the other interesting card effects you can get. Also, so he will negate 1 debuff. Each one of these has that token on it. So we're going to copy Reaper, actually, because it has an exhaust. These are Reaper pluses. So we can gain some health, but we lose some of our strength. This allows us to play with our health as a form of resource. So he gave us 2 wounds, and these are cards that will filter into our main deck, and then they will just take up hand spots. that we won't be able to do anything with. You know what, we're going to throw up the flame barrier, but I'm not going to go totally defensive, and we're going to hit the lowest one with Rampage. So he's going to add 2 more wounds. In the early game, I've noticed this isn't so bad, but later in the game, they actually have some enemies that will add cards to your actual draw deck, so it's not... This, we won't notice the problems until we recycle back through our cards. When they add it to your current draw deck, it can really interrupt your flow. Good strike. I think this is going to be pretty quick. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And because we have that mummified hand and the corruption already made that skill card cost 0, the mummified hand made one of our strike cards cost 0 instead of the only other card it could. So we now have a free attack, which we're going to just dump on that guy. We'll use the Infernal Blade. And see, this is why I really like cards that can give you other random cards for free cost. It can really give you a lot of options within a turn. So we're going to take our 8 damage, and we're going to be back in our under 50% health. And now our cards are recycling back through, so we might start seeing those wounds. But... Let's see. Go ahead and deal that 10 damage to all enemies. And then... let's go ahead and just remove one. We're going to take 8 damage, but... you know what? We're so close to ending it. We'll just go ahead and burn those cards. And we didn't really get to use this, but we'll go ahead and finish off with our Rampage. So we got 27 gold and a paper frog. Enemies with vulnerable take 75% more damage rather than 50%. This actually works with us rather well because of that smash attack we have. And so when you start getting these relics, you start going, well, what have I got and what cards would enhance my deck with these relics? So we want cards that get vulnerable. We also want powers. Let's see. Let's take Pommel Strike. Gives us a little bit more options when we're in combat. 16 lock. Create 2 copies. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Dual Wield Plus. And so now we're here at the boss. This should be an interesting fight. So this is the Hexaghost. From what I know, we have a free first turn. What do I want to do? Let's just go ahead and create 2 copies of this. So we'll still get that card, and we'll be able to make copies of other cards later. We'll just go ahead and hit them. Send all those cards to the discard pile. And so now he's going to this is attack damage that you'll see a lot in a later game. It'll be multiple hits. So the only difference I've seen in this, weakness really affects this a lot harder. And I imagine if you had something that reduces, like if an attack deals less than 4 damage, it deals 1 instead, this would be really critical. Or if there was an ability that triggered every time you were attacked, this would proc 6 times. We don't quite have, so we want to take a little damage, but not too much. Let's go ahead and do a pommel strike. Throw up our defense, and do a regular strike. So we're going to take a little bit of damage from this. In fact, we should go ahead and burn through our dexterity potion. I'm actually used to getting quite a bit more potions, so maybe that was the exception rather than the rule. Let's go ahead and throw out our Infernal Blade. We got Drop Kick, deal 8 damage to it. 8 damage. If the enemy is vulnerable, gain an energy and draw 1 card. So this will cycle back through our deck. So when it changed into that, basically that's the way to think of it. That card, the Infernal Blade, changes into that card for the combat. And the first turn you get it, it's 0. Might as well go ahead and throw it out. But I wish I had something to be vulnerable. And just go ahead and throw out some defenses, even though that's a little bit overkill. Alright, so he's going to do 6 and a debuff. So this enemy intends to inflict a negative effect on you and attack for 6 damage. So we don't really need that strong of a block, but well, we got one. So we're going to go ahead and use that, and then we're going to go ahead and use the Rampage. And deal 11 and go ahead and get it starting to scale up. So he gave us a burn card. So 1, that's going to be fodder for our deck. And 2, the burn card, when it ends the turn in your hand, you take 2 damage. So we definitely want to get through this as quickly as possible. And since he's going to do a block and a buff, we want to go ahead and throw on our Demon Form. Because this is going to be a long battle, so we should actually get a lot out of it. So he gains strength as well. So we can use a combo, but we're going to take 14 damage here if we do. Well, but we gain 1 energy. Let's go for it. Let's try the combo. So we applied the vulnerable. We'll do the drop kick, doing the normal 10 damage. Plus we'll get energy and draw a card. Now, I was really hoping to draw this card a little bit later. So let's go ahead and throw up a block. So we're only going to take 7 damage this turn. And what's good about this, and the reason I don't really care how much health we end the combat with, this won't be the end of the game. There are multiple floors, so think of this as, even though it says 16th floor, think of this as 1 floor. And then we'll go on to another one each with a boss. The reason I don't really care so much about how low of health I end with is you get full health going to the next floor. So let's see. You know what, let's go ahead and play Corruption, because I think we could end this in a reasonably quick manner. Throw that out. Oh, this was made to cost 0. I was trying to figure out why this costs 0 now, because it's like It's not a skill, but then I remembered our modified hand because we played a power. It made this one cost. Alright. Go ahead and deal a little extra damage too. And we won't take any damage this time. Now you can see the flames are counting up, and I believe this means once it gets all the way up, there's a really, really painful attack this enemy will deal. But since our strength has been stacking, we now have an attack like this. And there's that burn card for 2 damage. We're going to go ahead and do that rampage. And hit him with a bash. In the turn, we take the 2 damage, and we're going to take another 8. So we're playing really risky. So we got 5 times 6. We're going to need to block. So 30. Throw that out. Throw out, get 3 Reapers. Well, 2 Reapers. Go ahead and use 1. So that'll give us an extra turn, and then we can just pommel strike. I believe next turn we should be able to actually finish it. Maybe we could have finished it this time if I thought about that a little better. Oh! I've never seen that before. Oh, he took 4 damage from... Yeah, we definitely could have finished that if I played that out a little better. So we got a 99 gold, and this is really good because we're playing with low health. I like this card because 0 cost can help us manage our HP and keep it from getting too high. Give us more energy and draw cards, but it's also exhaust. I think this Berserk's a great card to use, especially if we're already trying to play under the 50% health. And then here's a chest. Now, I've noticed with these relics that come from the boss chest, I don't think they're all the time like this, at least they're not all the time that I've seen, but they're most of the time. 2 of them will have a drawback, as well as being a pretty strong card, and 1 will just be purely good card. So this one's a purely good, and I know this one's a purely good. This one I like because it gives you, so we have 20 cards in our deck. This would give us 2 HP times 4, so it would give us 8 HP every time we hit a campfire, even if we didn't rest, we just get it. I think that's a really good accessory to have. This one, we can draw an additional 2 cards each turn, but you start the combat with Confused. And it's not like something that will count down and eventually go away, it's something you're just stuck with unless you have some way to get rid of debuffs. And then whenever you draw a card, it's randomized its cost, is what Confused does. Sometimes that can be really useful. I'm not sure what the upper limit on card cost is that Confused can put it. I think the highest I've ever seen is 4. So with the things like our demon form and the corruption, yeah, but it would make so many of the other ones potentially cost 4, like our 1 cost attacks. We're gonna go for the health. That gives us more resource to play with. And so this is the next level. So maybe that's a better way to think of it. We go through floors and they're separated levels. And then as you can see, it's just like the previous one. I think there are more floors for every level. And the boss. But we're going to stop here. This is shorter than the last episode. But I think this is a better stopping point, and I don't know if I'll continue uploading your videos for this, but I really enjoy this game, so since I probably will spend a lot of time playing it, I'll probably just feel like recording videos. Again, if you didn't catch up my last video, if this is a game that even remotely appeals to you, I do highly recommend it. It it has easily sucked away probably like, I don't know, 10 hours of my time over the course of 2 days since I got it late last night. So yeah, it's a thoroughly enthralling game. But that's it for today. Thank you, and hope you have a good one.